Peace and blessings. My name is Carlos Walker, and this is Art and Hustle, Black Authors Matter. And today we got Mr. Antoine Carey. How you feeling, bruh?
I'm well, brother. I'm doing all right, man. How about yourself?
Man, doing amazing. So, if you will, share a little bit about who you are and what your book is about. Well, and the name of your book.
Okay, my name is Antoine Curry. I'm the owner of Faded and Company Barber Shop, Faded and Company Barber Academy, and the Faded Foundation here in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Again, I'd like to thank you. It's an honor to be, invited on. I'd like to salute all your efforts, all your endeavors. I've been watching from afar, and I salute you.
Appreciate
I was blessed to write a book. The title of my book is entitled "From Whom Much Is Given" by Antoine Curry. It's available on fadedandcompany.com under the store, and the ebook is also available on Amazon. The
it. Okay.
book and the ebook is available on Amazon.
So, if you will, share a little bit about why you created this book. To whom much is given.
From whom much is given. So the book actually was written at a time where I was found myself reincarcerated, even after having came home and had the success of opening the barbershop as well as the barber academy. I was blessed to been invited to do a lot of speaking engagements at the time due to my background and getting a barber's license and being able to come home and open a barbershop. I've been blessed to been even you know speak in DOC. I just spoke inside the prison several times, on the detention center, the high schools everywhere. Had just did a documentary on my life, entitled Fade in Full, the story of Antoine Curry. That's available on YouTube. Newspaper articles and everything is going on, and here it is, a night out. I got my son with me. I'm driving, showing off for him, then wrecked the car, and upon impact, you know, due to my background, is like, my world is over. I done been down, I done got up, and what I'm saying, now this to happen, like my world is over, so I took off and I ran. You know, um, as a result of that, I was sentenced for a hit and run. And here it is, I'm back in jail, and I got active 15 months to do, what I'm saying, with good time and everything. Uh, so it's like A is like one of the lowest points because I'd have been up and then you didn't fell again. It's crazy that I'm even here again. It's insane that I'm even here again. But if anybody that embedded before, the first thing is acceptance.
Yeah.
Accepting that this is what's going on. This is what's happening. And second was taking inventory. All right, so I gotta move from here. I gotta build, like, what do I have available? Uh, I had myself. What I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what I did have was myself. So I did like an inventory of myself. What I'm saying? Like, what is it that you really, what I'm saying, about? Like, life that you was living prior to this incident taking place. Like, and what I found, that it was sincere. I wanted to get back to that work. I heard a brother say something once before, said I never want to be successful. I want to be significant. And that
Mm,
always stuck to me. Was like, yo, I always want to have an impact. It's like, I am a product of this incarceration, or incarcerations. This is what I've been preaching. I've been blessed to, been looked at as an example of this, and yet here it is. I fail. Um, so I definitely wanted to get back to that work. I know I had a release date. I was coming home. I wanted to have opportunity to tell my story as far as what took place. And it was also a humbling experience because, like, I was once I was back incarcerated, and I was there, and I was housed with the younger generation, and I was able to see them now, and I was able to see how the facilities changed, and how they're giving them tablets, and like they are helping them waste years of their life.
mm.
Um, so with that, I try to utilize whatever vehicle that I had available, and my body was slocked, but I still had access to, maybe I can still get this message out. So I'd already did a documentary, which when we did the documentary, ideally I wanted to have did a book then, but a lot goes into writing the book.
Yes.
A lot goes into writing a book. So I was given the time to do that, and I was in there, laid with my thoughts, so I put them on paper.
Mm. Okay.
Um, The premise from whom much is given was due to from whom much is given. We are all given the exact same thing, and that's a story. You're given a life, so you have a story. What is required is required for us to share that story, to share those experiences, because we know the impact that it can have on others. Um, from whom much is given, as you are placed and given these successes, this attention, this exposure, there are more that you have potential to influence. So you were charged with that. Uh, this was me really realizing the value of the influence that I have and how I can harm or hurt people with the good that I've successes that I strive for, as well as for any fall that I have as a potential fall for those that have been following behind. You know what I mean? Um, and but at the same time to be relatable, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have all the answers. What I mean, I'm still learning, I'm still feeling my way out this as well. I ain't never said that I had all the answers. You know what I'm saying? I do have a background. The stats is real, why people are returning and whatnot. Like, all this is a real thing. I'm a product of it, you know. Um and I wanted to kind of tap into that with the book, again, knowing that words don't do these experiences justice, but to shed a little light, that's what I had accessible at the time.
And to your point, we are called to tell our stories. We are called to
Right.
there's a verse in the Bible that says, Revelations 12:11, it says, and they overcame by the blood of the Lamb, by the word of their testimony. If you do not share your story, how would anybody know what God has done for you?
Mm.
They don't.
Right.
Only you
Right.
do. And you walk around with all this information of how God works. But because you are not sharing, nobody else can gather or get that same privilege or favor that you got over your life. And
Right.
for you, you have favor. I mean, all glory be to God. Nobody got hurt. Yes,
Right.
look, the biggest thing that you still owned while you were, even though you had to go back, was your life.
Right.
Look, I understand. Look, the fall or what you assumed was a fall, it hurt. But in spite of that hurt, still being here is the biggest thing. Your
Right.
your son, he was in the car accident too, right?
He was in it with me. Yeah.
Never, he didn't lose his life.
Nope.
Look,
Yeah. Yeah.
neither
No
one of y'all
injuries,
was hurt.
anything.
It's just the point that yes, I feel like I not. I mean, I'm pretty sure at the time you felt like you failed. No, you didn't. You didn't fail. You learned. You relearned a lesson.
That's I mean, and we still learning. Now you don't keep making the same mistakes or,
There you
or
go.
or choosing the same choices. You don't keep stepping in the same hole twice. But it's lesson, and it's something in it.
Yes,
It was something in it. And I'm grateful to have that now, because now I can continue to still build it. I have more of a story to tell, and that's all that I try to do, what I'm saying, continue to tell it.
and somebody there. You was on assignment while you was there. Is
Bruh.
I hate that you had to find yourself back in there because of something, but I guarantee you, if you go back and it sounds like you already know what it is. Tell me what you done or how you may have helped somebody while you was there.
So I try to, and again, you trapped in that cell is like all of your thoughts are on that pillow. When you lay that head down, that I mean, they waiting on you there. So you try to rationalize things, and the sense that I make it of, again, I submit. Uh, as a vehicle. So for all the work that I was doing trying to get the message into the brothers on the inside, all right, well, sometimes you might got to be in there with them in order to deliver it. You know what I'm saying? And if it only took for that time, if it only took for the younger guys, oh man, and I didn't got too old, going to the pill window and everything now, but uh these young 18-year-old, 19-year-old brothers that I, had sale partners, it's like, man, we was able to really have those conversations that, what I'm saying, you have with a sale partner, you know what I'm saying? So even if it was just to deliver those messages and to be there for that point of time, what I'm saying, I submit to that.
And that's the will of God.
Right.
that you submit to go. It ain't where you want it to be, but you took the time. One, you was able to write the book. That's a blessing
There
to
was
you.
there was no way that I can plan stuff as I can't put it together no better.
I promise you. Two, you was able to help the brothers that you was around while you were there. And now, hey, you still get to live the story out. You get to finish this joint, and you never know how that information that you shared with them at that time may have messed around. We don't know what they may be or who they
Right,
may be or turn out to be because of that one moment that you got to spend with them.
right.
That stuff changed
Prayerfully,
lives.
prayerfully.
So, if you want, if you would share, I know you have told me why you wrote the book. You've
Mhm.
even told me, how or what pushed you to write the book because you had to do a little time. What do you look forward to do in somebody's life?
Again, the brother saying that he don't want to be successful, he want to be significant, like just to have an impact. You know what I mean? I was actually speaking just the other day with Ms. Juanita. Ms. Juanita is like a mother to me. She's the CEO and founder of Fail Safe Era, which is another 501c3 nonprofit here in Fredericksburg. They do everything, what I'm saying, to combat recidivism. I'm blessed to be on the board. And she done
So they got
poured into me.
they
Say again.
already did they do their event? They got an event coming up.
We have a sounding the alarm ground zero event on August the 9th. Failsafe is having that old Greenwich neighborhood, which they unfortunately they had a shooting that took place where some young men lost their lives here some months back. Um, but I was saying about Miss Juanita, and she was speaking about like what really was what birthed her wanting to start the nonprofit, and of course that was her exposure to incarceration with her son. Tragically, her son passed, while incarcerated at a local jail here some months ago, or whatnot. But we was talking about the work that Failsafe is out here doing now, and prayerfully, I believe that those blessings you can still be blessed beyond the grave because of the work that was birthed out of those hardships, out of those incarcerations, out of those bids, you know what I'm saying? And it far transcend even from the person that is directly handed to. Uh so for me, I want to be significant. I want to have something that I've said, something that I do to find its way to where it creates some type of change. Doesn't necessarily have to be for say one of the brothers that I spoke to when I was bidding. You know, that could have been a word that he passed on to somebody when you spoke to on the phone and they gave it to somebody else or whatever. But it's like I want to at least do my part in putting it out there and good energy. You know what I'm saying? We have lived experience.
I promise
We have a lived experience, which everyone does. That's that. Your experiences, and they are impactful.
you.
They
Yes.
they, they are very impactful, and that's what makes it obligatory.
From whom much is given.
Right. From whom much is given.
So, if you could give a word of wisdom to any author or anybody, what would it be that you would give them for this to inspire them to move forward and keep going?
Uh,
Because you had to keep
as,
going.
as for as far as for writing,
Anything.
as far if you were interested in writing a book, what I would tell you is like start writing. You know what I'm saying? Start writing and get in the routine of writing. Even if you ain't got nothing that you can put down that you can use today, make sure that you set that time aside and make sure that you write down, put something down for that day so that you can get in the habit of that. You know what I'm saying? Your thoughts will kind of meet you once you kind of train yourself for that. And go ahead, just get started. Uh but thinking if I was to give a good piece and it kind of ties into that, it's a quote that a brother gave from actually the brother Arthur Ashe gave it. Arthur Ashe say, start now. If I
Start.
don't want to go far off with missing the word, but the brother say start now, take what you got, do what you can.
Hmm. Don't try to think
And I
about what
thought
you
that was
ain't got.
cool. Start now. Start now, whatever it is. Start now. Use what you got, do what you can.
Hmm. It reminds me of the Serenity Prayer. I can't quote it off top, but it says, matter of fact, crazy. Here you go.
Grant me the
God
serenity.
grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. And that's basically it. Start now. I can't worry about some things that's not here. I
Right,
only have the present moment, and that's what I need to work on. Start now.
right. Start now. Take
Look,
what you got. All I got is what I got.
yeah, all I got is what I got. Look,
Yeah, and
look,
do what you can.
do what you
Do what you. Who can be mad at that, man?
if you
Who can
can
be mad at that?
tell these people where they can purchase your book, and hey, y'all, go get the book from.
Please.
Yeah, please go look, support. You see what the movement that he got, what he's doing. Look, support the book. Tell them where they can find the book.
So you can find the book and the ebook available on the store on fadedandcompany.com. We appreciate the traffic. Look around while you're there. But it's also available on Amazon.
Mm.
From Whom Much Is Given by Antoine Carey.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank
I
you
appreciate you
for
having me, man.
being a part of this, man. Look, uh, I like to tell people our ancestors are rolling in their grave with proudness because at one point they wouldn't allow us to read in this country nor write in this. We're
Right.
more black readers and writers that have ever existed in
Ain't
America.
that something?
Look, we doing things that our ancestors can be proud of, but we're making history.
Right.
Look, it's an honor to know you, bro.
Appreciate
So
you, brother. I greatly appreciate, you having me on. Again, I salute you in all your endeavors, man. If I can ever benefit you in any kind of way, like, man, holler at me.
I
Please do.
got you. Look, we gonna
Yes,
figure
sir.
some things out. Look, my name is Carlos Walker. This is Art and Hustle Black Authors Matter, and this is Mr. Antoine Carey.